Hello, welcome everyone. We are doing today with class 7 civics role of government in health. Now, in the democracy, people expect government to work for their welfare. This could be through the provision of education, health, employment, housing, or the development of roads or any of those kinds. Okay. Now, as this basically belongs with health, so we will first think what is health? Health means our ability to remain free of illness and injuries. But health isn't only about diseases. So, there are many situations that would have come in. So, often we ignore is that situations which is related to our health. So, apart from diseases, we need to think of other factors that affect our health. For example, if people get clean drinking water or pollution free environment, they are likely to be healthy. On the other hand, if people do not get adequate food to eat or their living conditions are very cramped, then they are prone to illness. Now, all of us would like to be active and in good spirits. It isn't healthy to be dull, inactive, anxious, or scared. So, we all need to be without mental strain. All of these various aspects of our lives are a part of health. Now, healthcare in India. So let us compare two situations that is given to us. Compare and contrast the situations expressed in the first and the second column. So I'm going to read you out through the situations. Okay. So I'm going to read you out through the situations. India has the largest number of medical colleges in the world and is among the largest producers of doctors. Approximately more than 30,000 new doctors qualify in every year. Most doctors settle in urban areas. People in rural areas have to travel long distances to reach a doctor. The number of doctors with respect to the population much less in rural areas. Healthcare facilities have grown substantially over the years. In 1950, there were only 2,717 government hospitals in India, and in 1991, we have 11,174 hospitals. In 2017, it even grew to 23,583. About 5 lakh people die from tuberculosis every year. In rural areas, this number is almost unchanged since independence. Almost 2 million cases of malaria are reported every year, and this number isn't decreasing. In urban area, so always this is urban area and this is rural. The other side is the rural area. Okay. So, India gets a large number of medical tourists from many countries. They come for treatment in some of the hospitals in India that compare with the best in the world. Whereas in rural area, we are not able to provide clean drinking water to all. 21% of all communicable diseases are waterborne. For example, diarrhea, worms, hepatitis, etc. India is the third largest producer of medicines in the world and is also a large exporter of medicines. In rural area, half of all children in India do not get adequate food to eat and are undernourished. So these other situations we saw, whereas the urban people they receive a lot of things, whereas rural they are devoid of many things. So, in order to prevent and treat illness, we need appropriate healthcare facilities, health centers, hospitals, laboratories, etc., like blood banks and all those. So, they can provide required care and services that patients need. So, in order to run these facilities, we need health workers like nurses, qualified doctors, and other health professionals who can advise, diagnose, and treat illness. We also need medicines and equipments that are necessary for treating patients. These facilities are required to take care of us. India, it has large number of doctors, it has clinics, it has hospitals. Now the country also has considerable experience and knowledge in running public healthcare system. Now, public healthcare system is what? It is a system of hospitals and healthcare which is run by the government. It has the ability to look after the health of the large section of its population which is scattered over hundreds and thousands of villages. We will go into more details of this in the next chapter. Moreover, there has been a phenomenal advancement in medical sciences whereby many new technologies and treatment procedures are available in the country. In the second column, what do we see? How poor health conditions in our country. With all the positive developments that is going on in the urban area, the rural are not able to get the things. So this is a paradox, something that is contrary to what it should be. Our country, it has got money, it has got knowledge, it has got experience, but cannot make the necessary healthcare available to all. So what has happened is there are two categories of healthcare units. So one is the public health services and other is the private health services. Now talking about the public health services. In the public health services, it is chain of health centers and hospitals which is run by the government. So they are linked together so that they cover both rural and urban areas and also provide treatment to all kinds of problems from common illness to special services. At the village level, there are health centers where usually some nurse or some village healthcare workers are there. They are trained to deal with the common illness and work under the supervision of doctors at the primary health center PHC. Such center covers many villages in the rural area. So at the district level, there is district hospitals even that supervises all the health centers. Large cities have many government hospitals, such as one where, the previous school, in the previous story, we had a story of Aman and Aman. There were two friends in the story with Aman and Ranjan. Both of them faced an illness and they both got treated, one in public hospital and one in private hospital. So one had a huge bill and the other did not. Aman did not have a huge bill. So they both were suffering with the same viral fever, and all he needs is one fever reducing medicine. So for that, Ranjan had paid a lot of thing. So there was a lot of thing, whereas for Aman there he needed an OPD card and he got treated at a very low cost. Okay, now that's the thing. So that is happening in the public health services. Okay, in order to fulfill the commitment of providing healthcare to all citizens, the government has established these hospitals and centers. And these resources needed to run these services are obtained from the money that we, the public, pay to the government as taxes. So that is where they get the money from. So these facilities are meant for everyone. So one of the most important aspect in the public health center is what? Is to provide quality health. Quality healthcare services either free or at low cost. So another important function of public healthcare is what? To prevent the spread of diseases like TB, malaria, jaundice, cholera. diarrhea, chikungunya, etc. So this has to be organized by the government with the participation of people, otherwise it is not effective. Now, for example, let us take when we have a campaign to see that mosquitoes do not breed in water coolers, rooftops, etc. This can be done for all the houses in this area. Now, what happened in the constitution we have, it's a primary duty of government to ensure the welfare of people and provide health care facilities to all. Now, the government has got a duty of safeguarding the right of life of every person. So, the court said that the difficulty that Hakim Sheikh, who was devoid of medicines or for accidents, he was not allowed to enter into more any hospitals, okay, because of lack of bed or some other issues. So if any hospital cannot provide timely treatment to a person, it means that the protection of the life is not being given. So the court also said that it was a duty of the government to provide necessary health services, including treatment in emergency situations. Hospitals and medical staffs must fulfill their duty of providing necessary treatment. Okay, so that is how public sector works. And now how does a private sector work? That is private health services. So there are wide range of private health facilities which is there. So a large number of doctors who run these private clinics. In rural areas, one can find an RMP, which is registered medical practitioner. Urban areas, they have large number of doctors, many of them providing specialized services. So there are hospitals and nursing homes that are privately owned, as owned by an individual or a group or a trust or something like that. And there are many laboratories even for having facilities such as X-ray, ultrasound, etc. There are also shops where we buy medicines. So as the name suggests, it's a private organization. That means it is not run by any government. So today the presence of private facilities can be seen all around. In fact, now there are a large number of companies that run hospitals. And some are even engaged in manufacturing and selling medicines. Now coming to healthcare and equality, is adequate healthcare available to all? So in India, what happens? We face a situation where private services are increasing, but public services are not. What is unavailable to the people are mainly the private services. So that comes under a very huge cost. Okay, so medicines are very expensive. So people needed to borrow money to have. So some private services, they even encourage incorrect practices. At times, inexpensive alternatives, though available, is not used. For example, some medical practitioners, they are found to prescribe superfluous medicines, injections or salines, when simple medication could be okay, it should suffice. In fact, barely 20% of the population can afford all medicines that they require during an illness. Hence, even for those whom one might not think as pure, medical expenses is a very, very great hardship. So even for those, think of those who are poor. So every illness in the family is a great anxiety and stress. What is worse is a situation that tends to happen again and again. Those who are poor, in the first place, they are undernourished. There are families who are not eating as they should be. They are not provided basic necessities like drinking water, adequate housing, etc. And over that, if there is an expense on the illness, that makes the situation worse. Sometimes it is not the lack of money that prevents people from getting proper medical treatment, but also, we have like women, for example. They are not taken to the doctors in a prompt manner. Women's health is a concern and are considered to be less important than the health of the men in the family. So women are told to bear with the situations, or they go to specifically a women doctor and not open themselves up in front of a male doctor. So a lot of chaos that happens. And now the question arises, what can be done for this? There is even, there is no doubt stating that medical facility is very, very important. And it is required for all, whether it is poor or whether they are rich. So, health is much dependent on the basic amenities and the social conditions of the people as it is on the healthcare services. So, what happened? There are two instances that we have, those who took care of the health conditions. One is the Kerala experience. So, in 1996, Kerala government made some major changes in the state. 40% of the entire state's budget was given to the panchayats. Here they could plan and provide the requirements. This made it possible for the village to make sure that proper planning was done for water, food, women's development, and education. This meant that water supply was checked, working of schools and Anganwadis was ensured, and specific problems of the village were taken. Now, health centers were also improved. All of this helped to improve the situation. The situation obviously improved, but despite of all this effort, some problem existed, like there was shortage of medicines, insufficient hospital beds, not enough doctors. All this had been there, and these needed to be addressed. So there is another situation we have, that is the Costa Rican approach. So in Costa Rica, what happened? It is considered as the healthiest country in Central America. So what is the reason behind it? The main reason was this can be found in Costa Rican constitution. Several years ago, Costa Rica took a very important decision and decided not to have an army. This helped Costa Rica government to spend the money that they would have spent on army. It was spent on the health, education, and other basic needs of the people. The Costa Rica government believes that a country has to be healthy for its development and pays a lot of attention to the health of its people. The Costa Rica government provides basic services and amenities to all the Costa Ricans. For example, it provides safe drinking water, sanitation, nutrition, and housing. Health education is also considered very important, and knowledge about health is an essential part of the education at all levels. So that's it in this chapter. Thank you.